The stars looked peaceful from the bridge of the Velthari warship Dominion's edge. Commander Thexara stood before the massive viewing screen, watching the distant yellow star grow larger as her fleet moved toward it. Behind her, alien crew members worked at glowing control panels, their six-fingered hands dancing across holographic displays. "Commander," called her navigation officer, "we are approaching the target system. Long-range scans show 9 planets orbiting the star. The third planet appears to have water and breathable atmosphere." Thexara nodded, her purple skin catching the light from the displays. The Velthari had been the rulers of this part of the galaxy for over 2,000 years. They had conquered 847 star systems, and primitive worlds like this one always surrendered quickly. Their technology was far beyond anything these simple creatures could imagine. "Begin standard surveillance protocols," she ordered. "I want to know everything about this planet before we make contact." Far away, hidden in the dark space beyond the 9th planet, Admiral Park Kyung-soo watched the alien ships approach. His command station was completely invisible to their sensors, built inside what looked like a normal asteroid. The technology that hid his base was something the aliens had never seen before. "Admiral," said Captain Lee Dong-wook, stepping up beside him, "the Velthari fleet has entered our outer detection grid. 12 ships, standard exploration pattern. They have no idea we're watching them." Park Kyung-soo was a tall man with gray hair and calm eyes. He had been waiting for this day for 30 years. Earth had known about the Velthari for a long time, ever since their probe crashed on the moon in 1995. Human scientists had studied the wreckage in secret, learning about alien technology while the world below continued its normal life. "Dr. Yoon Eunji," the admiral called to a woman working at a nearby station. "What are their communication patterns telling us?" Dr. Yoon looked up from her screens, pushing her glasses up her nose. She had spent years learning alien languages from intercepted signals. "They're following standard Velthari procedures, sir. They think this is just another primitive world to add to their empire. Their confidence levels are extremely high." On Earth's surface, normal life continued. People went to work, children played in parks, and nobody looked up at the sky with worry. Most humans had no idea that alien ships were approaching their world. The governments of Earth had decided long ago to keep the alien threat secret while they prepared for this moment. President Kang So-young sat in a hidden command center deep beneath Seoul. Banks of computers showed her everything the hidden stations were seeing. She was a small woman with intelligent eyes and the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders. "How long until they reach Earth?" she asked her military advisor. 6 hours, Madam President," replied General Kim Seung-ho. "All defensive systems are ready. The orbital platforms are powered up and waiting." The president nodded. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this day. While the world above lived normal lives, engineers and scientists had been working in secret. They built weapons and defenses using technology learned from alien crashes. They created ships that could travel faster than light and hide from any sensor. Back in space, the Velthari continued their approach. Their ships were beautiful in an alien way, with flowing curves and energy fields that glowed soft blue. Each ship was over 1 kilometer long and carried enough firepower to destroy a city. "Commander," reported the scanning officer, "we're detecting radio transmissions from the 3rd planet. Primitive electromagnetic communications, mostly entertainment and basic data transfer. No signs of advanced technology." Thexara smiled, showing sharp teeth. This was exactly what she expected. "Any signs of space travel?" "Some basic satellites in orbit, probably for communication and weather monitoring. We detect no spacecraft beyond their immediate orbital space. Their technology appears to be at least 500 years behind ours." The alien commander felt pleased. Another easy conquest for the Dominion. These humans would surrender quickly once they saw the power of Velthari technology. Then they would become workers in the vast alien empire, mining resources and serving their new masters. What Thexara didn't know was that every signal from her ships was being recorded and analyzed. Hidden human stations throughout the solar system tracked their movement. Advanced computers decoded their communications and predicted their next moves. Captain Nam Hyejin sat in the cockpit of her stealth ship Silent Thunder, drifting invisible just outside Earth's atmosphere. Her ship was small compared to the alien vessels, but it carried technology that would have amazed the Velthari. Phase shift generators made her completely invisible. Quantum engines let her move faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. "Admiral Park," she reported over the secure channel. "I'm in position. The aliens are maintaining standard formation. They have no idea I'm here. Good, came the Admiral's voice. Stay ready, Captain. We may need to send them a message soon. As the alien fleet drew closer to Earth, their sensors began picking up more details about the planet. They saw cities with millions of lights, vast networks of roads, and signs of a civilization that had spread across most of the world's surface. Impressive population density, noted one of the alien officers. This world will provide many workers for the Dominion. Indeed, agreed Thexara. Begin preparing the surrender demands. Use their most common languages. Make sure they understand that resistance is useless. The alien commander had no way of knowing that human scientists had been studying Velthari language and technology for decades. She didn't know that hidden shipyards beyond Neptune had been building a fleet that would terrify her people. She couldn't imagine that the primitive planet below had weapons that could destroy her entire fleet in minutes. As the Velthari ships entered Earth's orbital space, they prepared to announce their arrival to what they thought was a helpless world. They expected fear, panic, and quick surrender. They had never been wrong before. The humans waited, watching, ready to show these aliens that Earth was not as helpless as it appeared. The greatest surprise in galactic history was about to begin. The Velthari fleet moved into Earth's orbit like giant metal sharks circling their prey. Commander Thexara stood proud on her bridge, watching the blue and green planet spin slowly below. This was always her favorite moment, when a new species first saw the power of the Dominion. Begin the broadcast, she ordered. All frequencies, all languages we have identified. The alien ships positioned themselves in a perfect formation above Earth's major cities. Their hulls gleamed in the sunlight, and energy fields around them pulsed with threatening power. To anyone looking up from the planet's surface, they would seem like gods of war from the stars. The message began broadcasting across every radio and television frequency on Earth. Thexara's voice, translated into dozens of human languages, echoed across the planet. People of Earth, I am Commander Thexara of the Velthari Dominion. Your world now belongs to us. You have 1 hour to surrender completely. Your leaders must come to us and accept our rule. Any resistance will result in the destruction of your cities. This is not a negotiation. This is your only warning. On Earth's surface, the reaction was not what the aliens expected. Instead of panic in the streets, there was a strange calm. Traffic continued moving normally. People went about their daily business. Emergency services were ready but not overwhelmed. It was as if the entire planet had been expecting this moment. President Kang So-young watched the alien broadcast from her hidden command center. Around her, military officers and scientists worked calmly at their stations. Everyone had trained for this day. General Kim, she said to her defense minister, are all systems ready? Yes, Madam President, replied General Kim Sung-ho. Orbital defense platforms are online. Fleet Command reports all ships in position. We're ready to show these aliens what humans can really do. High above Earth, Admiral Choi Tai-hyun waited in his control room built inside what looked like a space station for weather monitoring. In reality, it was the command center for Earth's orbital defense network. Weapons that had taken 20 years to build were hidden all around the planet. The first sign that Earth was not helpless came 30 minutes after the alien demands. Captain Nam Hee-jin activated her ship's phase shift drive and materialized directly behind the largest Velthari vessel. Her small craft Silent Thunder was only 50 meters long compared to the alien ship's kilometer length. But size was not everything. What was that? Shouted the Velthari sensor officer. Something just appeared behind us. Before Thexara could respond, Nam Hee-jin fired a precise electromagnetic pulse directly into the alien ship's communication systems. The blast, designed specifically to overload Velthari technology, shut down every transmitter on the vessel in seconds. We've lost all communications, reported another officer. Whatever hit us passed right through our shields like they weren't there. Thexara stared at her screens in shock. The small human ship had appeared from nowhere and attacked with technology that shouldn't exist. Her shields were supposed to stop any weapon these primitives could build. How is this possible? She demanded. Our intelligence said they barely had space travel. Before anyone could answer, every communication device on every ship in the alien fleet suddenly activated at the same time. But instead of alien voices, they heard a calm human woman speaking perfect Velthari language. Commander Thexara, said President Kang So-young, her voice reaching every alien in the fleet. This is President Kang So-young of Earth. We received your surrender demands. And we have a counteroffer. The alien commander's purple skin turned pale. The humans were speaking their language perfectly, and had somehow taken control of their communication systems. This was supposed to be impossible. You are not the first to find us, the president continued. Over the past 50 years, 17 different alien species have discovered Earth. Some came in peace and were welcomed. Others came with conquest in their hearts. Would you like to know what happened to those who chose conquest? Pixara tried to regain control of her communications, but nothing worked. Human technology had completely taken over her systems. You have 30 minutes to withdraw from our system. President Kang's voice continued. If you choose to stay, you will discover why Earth has remained unconquered for 40,000 years of human civilization. The choice is yours, but choose carefully. This is your only warning. The communication ended, leaving the alien fleet in stunned silence. Around Thexara, her officers stared at their screens in confusion and fear. Everything they knew about human technology was wrong. Commander, whispered her tactical officer, our sensors are detecting massive energy signatures throughout this system. They were hidden before, but now they're revealing themselves. On the viewing screen, space around Earth began to change. What had looked like empty space now showed the energy signatures of hundreds of hidden installations. Weapon platforms that had been invisible suddenly appeared on sensors. The humans had been watching and waiting. How many ships do they have? Thexara asked, her voice shaking. Unknown, Commander. Our sensors can't get clear readings. Their stealth technology is beyond anything in our databases. Dr. Yunji, monitoring the alien communications from her hidden station, smiled as she watched the enemy fleets panic. The aliens were discovering that their intelligence about Earth was completely wrong. Admiral Park, she reported, the Velthari are confused and frightened. They're trying to contact their home fleet, but we're blocking their long-range communications. Admiral Park Kyung-soo nodded. Let them send one message home. I want their empire to know that Earth is not what it appears to be. The alien fleet hung in space above Earth, no longer confident predators but confused and worried hunters who had discovered their prey had teeth. Thexara faced a terrible choice. Retreat and admit defeat to a supposedly primitive species, or attack and risk discovering just how wrong their intelligence had been. Commander, urged her weapons officer, we should show them our power. They cannot match the firepower of 12 Velthari warships. Thexara looked at the peaceful planet below. The humans had shown technology that shouldn't exist and spoken their language perfectly. They had taken control of Velthari systems and hidden a fleet that their best sensors couldn't detect. But she was Velthari, and her people had never retreated from a primitive world. Pride and 2,000 years of easy victories made her decision. All ships, she commanded, prepare to demonstrate Velthari power. Target their largest cities. We will show these humans the cost of defying the Dominion. As the alien weapons began charging, every human defensive system came online. The real battle was about to begin, and the Velthari were about to learn that sometimes the prey becomes the hunter. The Velthari weapons charged with a sound like thunder rolling across space. 12 warships aimed their most powerful energy cannons at Earth's major cities. Each beam could turn a mountain into glass and had never failed to destroy any target. Fire, commanded. Thexara, brilliant streams of pure energy, lanced down toward Earth. The beams were powerful, enough to kill millions of humans and turn their greatest cities into burning craters. This was how the Velthari had conquered 847 worlds, with overwhelming force that no primitive species could resist. The energy beams struck Earth's atmosphere and simply vanished. What happened? Thexara demanded, staring at her screens. Where did our weapons go? Her tactical officer checked his instruments 3 times before answering. Commander, the energy was absorbed by some kind of planetary shield. Our weapons had no effect at all. Around Earth, invisible barriers flickered briefly into view as they absorbed the alien attack. The shield network had been built over 20 years using crystalline technology, found in crashed Velthari probes. Human engineers had improved the alien designs until Earth's defenses could stop any weapon the Dominion had ever built. General Kim Sung-ho watched the alien attack fail from his command center beneath Seoul. Dr. Lim, he called to the woman, who had designed the shield system. How are the barriers holding? Dr. Lim Ji-won smiled as she checked her readouts. The shields absorbed 100% of their energy, General. We could withstand that attack for days without strain. Their weapons are actually charging our power systems. On the surface, people in New York, London, Tokyo, and other major cities looked up as brief flashes of light appeared high in the sky. Most thought it was some kind of unusual weather. Few realized they had just survived an alien attack that should have killed them all. The failure of their ultimate weapons shocked the Velthari fleet into silence. For 2,000 years, no shield had ever stopped their energy cannons. Now a supposedly primitive planet had absorbed their attack like it was nothing. "This is impossible," whispered Thexara. "Our weapons can destroy moons." "How did they stop us?" Before anyone could answer, her sensor officer screamed a warning. "Ships decloaking all around us. Human vessels appearing everywhere." Space around the alien fleet suddenly filled with human warships. Sleek vessels appeared from nowhere, their hulls gleaming with strange energy fields. Each ship was smaller than the Velthari warships, but they moved with incredible speed and precision. Captain Song Jin-woo commanded the lead human stealth ship Ghostwalker. His vessel had been hiding just meters away from the alien flagship, completely invisible to their sensors. Now he revealed himself along with 50 other ships that had been waiting in ambush. "All ships," he transmitted to his fleet, "begin hunting protocol. Show these aliens how Earth protects itself." The human ships moved like wolves attacking a herd. They used advanced cloaking to appear and disappear at will. Their weapons passed through alien shields as if they didn't exist. Most terrifying of all, they could make short jumps through space faster than the aliens could track them. The first Velthari ship died within minutes. Human phase beam weapons cut through its hull like paper, and the massive alien warship exploded in a ball of fire that lit up the darkness of space. "Evasive maneuvers," Thexara shouted. "Return fire on all human vessels." But the alien weapons couldn't hit targets that kept vanishing and reappearing. The humans used quantum jump technology that let them move instantly from one position to another. They would fire their weapons, disappear, and appear somewhere else before the aliens could respond. Another Velthari ship exploded. Then another. The human vessels swarmed around the alien fleet like angry hornets, striking from impossible angles and vanishing before return fire could reach them. Admiral Park Kyung-soo watched the battle from his hidden command station. "Captain Lee," he said to his communications officer, "open a channel to the remaining alien ships. Channel open. Admiral." "Velthari fleet." Admiral Park spoke calmly into his transmitter. "This is Admiral Park Kyung-soo of Earth Defense Command. You have now seen what happens when you attack our world. Surrender immediately and you will be allowed to leave our system alive." Thexara heard the message as another of her ships died around her. Half her fleet was gone, destroyed by weapons that shouldn't exist. The humans had technology that was years ahead of anything the Dominion had ever seen. "Commander," urged her first officer, "we should accept their offer. We cannot fight enemies we cannot hit." But Thexara's pride wouldn't let her surrender to primitives. "Send a quantum message to High Command," she ordered. "Tell them Earth has advanced technology. Request immediate reinforcement with our largest fleet." Her communications officer worked frantically. "Message sent, Commander. But it will take days for reinforcements to arrive." "Then we hold position and fight," Thexara declared. "The Dominion does not retreat from primitive worlds." Captain Song Jin-woo heard the alien transmissions through equipment that could decode any language. "Admiral Park," he reported, "the aliens have called for reinforcements. They're planning to bring their main fleet here." "Let them come," replied the Admiral. "It's time Earth showed the galaxy what we're really capable of." "Captain Song, disable the remaining alien ships but don't destroy them. I want survivors to carry our message back to their empire." The human ships changed their tactics, using precision strikes to disable alien engines and weapons without killing the crews. Within an hour, the mighty Velthari fleet drifted helpless in Earth's orbit, their ships powerless and surrounded by human vessels that appeared and vanished like ghosts. Dr. Yoon Yoonji monitored the alien communications as panic spread through their fleet. "Admiral," she reported, "they're requesting permission to surrender. Their confidence is completely broken." President Kang So-young made the decision from her command center. "Let 3 of their ships return home," she ordered. "But first, make sure they understand exactly what they've encountered." Admiral Park opened communications to the entire alien fleet. "Commander Thexara," he said, "you have learned that Earth is not what your intelligence reported. We have been watching the Dominion for decades, learning from your technology and improving it. Your weapons cannot penetrate our defenses. Your shields cannot stop our weapons. Your sensors cannot detect our ships." The alien commander listened in growing horror as the human admiral continued. 3 of your ships will be allowed to return home with this message. Earth is under the protection of humanity. Any species that comes in peace will be welcomed. Any species that comes with conquest in their hearts will face the same fate as your fleet. We have been preparing for this day for a very long time. As if to prove his point, space around Earth began revealing more hidden installations. Massive shipyards appeared from behind cloaking fields. Orbital fortresses the size of small moons uncloaked near Jupiter and Saturn. The aliens realized they had stumbled into a trap that had been 40 years in the making. "How long have you been watching us?" Thexara asked in a broken voice. "Since your first probe crashed on our moon in 1995, Admiral Park replied. "We've been learning, building, and waiting. Now your empire will learn that some prey is more dangerous than the hunter." The quantum message from Earth reached the Velthari capital world 7 days later. High Admiral Kethavar read the report 3 times before he could believe what it said. An entire reconnaissance fleet destroyed by primitives, impossible technology, weapons that passed through shields, ships that could appear and disappear at will. "This is clearly exaggerated," he told his war council. "Panic makes soldiers see things that aren't there. No primitive species could possess such technology." But the evidence was overwhelming. 3 damaged Velthari ships had limped back to Dominion space with their tales of defeat. The crews were traumatized, speaking of human weapons that defied all known science. Video recordings showed energy beams simply vanishing when they struck Earth, and human ships appearing from nowhere to destroy vessels that had conquered hundreds of worlds. "High Admiral," said General Vexthon, "perhaps we should approach this more carefully. These humans clearly have capabilities we don't understand." Kethavar slammed his 6-fingered hand on the metal table.
"We are the Velthari Dominion.
"We have ruled this galaxy for 2,000 years. No primitive backwater planet will make us look weak in front of our subject species." The High Admiral's pride demanded overwhelming force. If the humans had some advanced weapons, he would bring weapons even more advanced. If they had hidden ships, he would bring so many ships that numbers alone would guarantee victory. "Assemble the Grand Fleet," he commanded. "Every dreadnought, every battleship, every destroyer we have. I want 3,000 ships ready for immediate deployment to this Earth system." The largest war fleet in Velthari history began gathering at the edge of Dominion space. Massive dreadnoughts that could crack planets joined cruisers capable of sterilizing entire star systems. The assembled fleet carried enough firepower to destroy 100 worlds like Earth. But Earth was watching. Hidden sensors throughout. Velthari Space reported every ship movement back to Admiral Park Kyung-soo. Human intelligence networks, built over decades of secret operations, provided detailed information about enemy plans. "They're bringing everything they have," reported Dr. Yoon-Yoon-ji from her monitoring station. "Over 3,000 ships, including their planet-killer dreadnoughts. This is the largest fleet the Dominion has ever assembled." Admiral Park nodded calmly. He had expected this response. Proud species like the Velthari could never accept defeat from those they considered inferior. "How long until they arrive?" 6 days, replied Captain Lee Dong-wook. "Their quantum drives are faster than we initially calculated." President Kang So-young received the news in her underground command center. Around her, military leaders worked frantically to coordinate Earth's defense. But the president remained calm. Humanity had prepared for this moment longer than most people realized. "Admiral Park," she said over the secure communication link, "it's time to reveal our true capabilities. Show them what Earth has really been building." Across the solar system, hidden shipyards began powering up. Facilities built inside asteroids, camouflaged as mining operations and concealed behind gas giant moons, started revealing their true purpose. For 40 years, humanity had been constructing the largest fleet in galactic history. The first human dreadnought uncloaked near Neptune. The massive ship, called Indomitable Earth, was 3 kilometers long and bristled with weapons that used technology beyond anything the Velthari had imagined. Its quantum steel armor could adapt to any attack, becoming stronger with each hit. Its weapons could tunnel through space itself to strike targets regardless of distance or protection. Captain Yuna Young stood on the bridge of the great ship, watching as more human dreadnoughts revealed themselves throughout the outer solar system. Each vessel was a masterpiece of engineering that combined the best of human innovation with improved alien technology. "Admiral Park," she reported, "the fleet is ready. 500 dreadnoughts, 2,000 cruisers, and 10,000 support vessels. All systems are operational and crews are at battle stations." But the human fleet was more than just ships. Each vessel carried technology that would have seemed like magic to earlier generations. Quantum tunnel weapons that could strike through dimensions, temporal displacement drives that allowed instant movement anywhere in space, defensive systems that turned enemy attacks into additional power. Engineer Bae Hyun-sik had spent 20 years developing the quantum tunnel cannons that armed the human dreadnoughts. His weapons could reach through space and time to hit targets that thought they were safe behind any defense. The tunneling systems are stable, he reported from the engineering section of Indomitable Earth. We can strike any target in this system instantly, regardless of shields or distance. As the human fleet revealed itself, space around Earth transformed. What had seemed like an isolated planet protected by a few hidden ships suddenly showed itself as the center of the most powerful naval force the galaxy had ever seen. Admiral Park moved his command to Indomitable Earth, taking his place on the bridge of humanity's flagship. Around him, officers from dozens of nations worked together with the precision that came from years of preparation. Admiral, reported Captain Yu Na-young, long-range sensors detect the Velthari Grand Fleet approaching our outer system boundary. Estimated arrival in 18 hours. Good, Admiral Park replied. Open a channel to all human ships. Throughout the vast fleet, his voice reached every crew member preparing for the greatest battle in human history. People of Earth, he began. For 40 years we have prepared for this moment. We have watched alien empires rise and fall. We have learned their weaknesses and surpassed their strengths. Today, the Velthari Dominion comes to our home with the largest fleet they have ever assembled. They expect to find a primitive world they can easily conquer. The Admiral paused, looking out at the magnificent ships that surrounded him. Each one represented decades of secret work by the brightest minds humanity had ever produced. They will find instead that Earth is ready. We are not the helpless prey they imagine. We are not the primitive species their intelligence described. We are humanity, and we have spent 40 years becoming something this galaxy has never seen before. In the distance, space began to ripple as the Velthari Grand Fleet dropped out of quantum drive at the edge of the solar system. 3,000 alien ships appeared in perfect formation, their hulls gleaming with the confidence of a species that had never known true defeat. High Admiral Kethvar stood on the bridge of his flagship Dominion's Wrath, a massive dreadnought that had led the conquest of 100 worlds. He looked at the inner solar system, expecting to see a few human ships hiding behind their planet's defenses. Instead, he saw the largest fleet in galactic history waiting for him. Human dreadnoughts that dwarfed his own ships floated in perfect battle formation. Weapon signatures unlike anything in Velthari databases painted his sensors with warnings of impossible technologies. By the void, he whispered. What have we found? The greatest space battle in history was about to begin. The two greatest fleets in galactic history faced each other across the darkness of space. On one side, 3,000 Velthari warships representing 2 millennia of technological advancement and imperial power. On the other, 500 human dreadnoughts that embodied 40 years of secret preparation and revolutionary engineering. High Admiral Kethvar stared at his tactical displays in growing disbelief. The human ships were larger than anything in Velthari records. Their energy signatures showed power levels that should have been impossible. Most disturbing of all, his sensors couldn't get clear readings on their weapons or defenses. Admiral, reported his scanning officer, the human vessels are using technology we've never encountered. Our computers can't identify their weapon systems or predict their capabilities. Kethvar had conquered 47 star systems personally. He had never faced an enemy fleet that made his sensors useless. It doesn't matter, he declared, trying to sound confident. Numbers will decide this battle. We have 6 ships for every one of theirs. Admiral Park Kyung-soo heard the alien transmissions through human monitoring equipment. He stood calmly on the bridge of Indomitable Earth, watching the enemy fleet maintain its attack formation. Around him, his officers waited for orders with the quiet confidence that came from knowing they possessed superior technology. Captain Yu, he said to his first officer, send one final message to the Velthari fleet. Captain Yu Na-young opened communications to every alien ship. High Admiral Kethvar, Admiral Park's voice carried across space. This is Admiral Park Kyung-soo of the Terran Defense Fleet. You have one chance to withdraw from our system. Your forces are outmatched. Your technology is obsolete. Your empire's time as a galactic power is ending today. The alien commander's response crackled with anger and disbelief. You primitive creatures dare threaten the grand fleet of the Dominion? We will turn your world into radioactive dust. So be it, Admiral Park replied sadly. You have chosen your fate. The battle began when Kethvar ordered his entire fleet to fire at once. 3,000 ships unleashed enough destructive energy to sterilize a dozen planets. The combined firepower of the Velthari Grand Fleet created a wall of energy that raced toward the human vessels. The attack struck the human fleet and simply vanished. Every human ship was protected by quantum barrier shields that didn't just absorb energy, they redirected it into other dimensions. The massive alien assault disappeared into quantum tunnels, leaving the human fleet completely undamaged. Impossible, Kethvar screamed. Nothing can absorb that much firepower. Before the aliens could fire again, the human fleet began its counterattack. Captain Seo Subin, commanding the Dreadnought Eternal Vigil, activated her ship's quantum tunnel cannons. The weapons reached through space itself to strike their targets, bypassing distance, shields, and time. The alien flagship Dominion's wrath simply ceased to exist. One moment it was there, the next moment it had been deleted from reality. High Admiral Kethvar and his entire crew vanished as if they had never been born. Throughout the alien fleet, massive warships began disappearing. Human quantum weapons struck from impossible angles, reaching through dimensions to destroy targets that thought they were safely protected. Alien shields, which had never failed in 2,000 years of conquest, provided no defense against weapons that attacked from outside normal space. Retreat, ordered Admiral Kethul, taking command after Kethvar's death. All ships emergency quantum jump. But the human fleet had prepared for this moment. Engineer Bae Hyun-sik activated quantum disruptor fields that made faster-than-light travel impossible. The alien ships were trapped in normal space, unable to escape the battle they were losing. Human vessels moved through the alien formation like apex predators hunting helpless prey. Their temporal displacement drives allowed them to appear anywhere instantly. Their adaptive armor became stronger with every hit. Their weapons grew more powerful as the battle continued. Captain Song Jin-woo led a squadron of stealth ships in precision strikes against alien command vessels. His ships appeared inside alien formations, destroyed multiple targets, and vanished before return fire could reach them. The aliens found themselves fighting enemies they couldn't see, couldn't hit, and couldn't escape. Admiral Park, reported Dr. Yoon Eun-ji from her monitoring station. Alien fleet cohesion is breaking down. They're attempting random jumps to escape, but our quantum disruptors are holding them in normal space. Within 2 hours, the mighty Velthari Grand Fleet was reduced to scattered survivors. Over 2,000 alien ships had been destroyed by weapons that struck from outside reality itself. The remainder drifted powerless, their crews in shock at the total failure of everything they had believed about their technological superiority. Admiral Park opened communications to the surviving alien vessels. "Velthari ships," he said calmly. "This is Admiral Park Kyung-soo. Your Grand Fleet has been defeated. Your empire's expansion is ended. But Earth offers you a choice." On the bridge of a damaged alien cruiser, Admiral Keithhull listened with growing desperation. Half his fleet was gone, destroyed by impossible weapons. The other half was trapped and helpless. "You can choose the path of war," Admiral Park continued, "and face complete destruction. Or you can choose the path of peace and discover that Earth seeks cooperation, not conquest. We will not destroy your surviving ships if you agree to end your empire's aggressive expansion." President Kang, So Young, watched the aftermath from her command center beneath Seoul. The greatest threat to Earth had been eliminated in a single battle. But more importantly, humanity had revealed itself as the new dominant power in the galaxy. "Open a channel to every listening post and monitoring station in the galaxy," she ordered. Her message reached every species within 100 light years. "People of the galaxy," President Kang began. "This is President Kang So Young of Earth. Today, humanity revealed itself to the galaxy as more than the primitive species you believed us to be. Throughout space, alien civilizations that had suffered under Velthari rule listened to the human message with growing hope. For those who come to Earth in peace, seeking trade, knowledge, or friendship, you will find us welcoming partners. For those who come seeking conquest, you have seen the fate of the Velthari Grand Fleet. Earth stands ready to protect all peaceful species from those who would oppress them." The president paused, letting her words reach across the stars. The age of the Velthari Dominion is over. The age of cooperation and mutual protection has begun. Choose your path carefully, for humanity is watching, and we will judge your actions accordingly. 5 years later, Admiral Park Kyung-soo stood on the bridge of Indomitable Earth as it patrolled the former Velthari territories. The alien empire had become a protectorate. Their aggressive expansion ended forever. Former Velthari worlds now flourished under human protection, free to develop their own cultures and technologies. Dr. Yoon Yoon-ji, now head of the Galactic Cooperation Council, worked with reformed Velthari scientists to develop peaceful applications for their combined technologies. Dozens of species that had been oppressed by the old empire had joined the new Galactic Alliance. Captain Yoo Na-young, promoted to Admiral of the Second Fleet, led exploration missions to distant star systems. Instead of conquest, humans brought offers of trade, protection, and technological exchange. The galaxy had entered an age of unprecedented peace and growth. But Earth's fleets remained ready, watching for any species that might choose the old path of conquest over the new path of cooperation. As Admiral Park looked out at the stars, he smiled. Humanity had proven that the strongest species was not always the one with the biggest guns, but the one that understood when to use them and when to offer a helping hand instead. The galaxy was safer, and Earth had found its place among the stars not as conquerors but as protectors of peace.